A new Heated Rivalry related scandal has just dropped, and this time it has to do with the Empty Netters podcast. Powers was so annoyed by the positive reaction, saying that the gushing response was only making the blue-haired Twitter people happy. He also said privately in these text messages, "I think the losers who made this show are cowards."
But a lot of people saw it and assumed he was bad-mouthing the show privately while profiting from praising it publicly.
Because people lack comprehension skills.
Oh.
The average person reads and comprehends at a 6th grade level. And the average person is still smarter than half of America. Okay?
We're so f***ed. No context quotes right before we start recording. If I get my ass eat, I'll run and tell the whole town. This is the Heated Rivalry episode anyway.
Oh, well, perfect. So, I mean...
PG-X-R.
Yeah, just be ready.
Anyway, welcome back to Normal Gays. That we don't normally open up episodes like that, but whatever. We're gonna just go with it. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson.
What's up, guys? Now we're gonna be answering some of your questions that where did we post it?
On YouTube, and people sent them in.
We're gonna answer those questions for our members only this week, and then next week we've got Blair White joining us, and we're gonna play
a fun game or something. If you have any ideas for what we want us to do, like games we can do, because we'll do some serious content with Blair as well. But then we're gonna do like a F, Marry, Kill or something fun as well. Anyway, we're going to finally talk about Heated Rivalry, which people have been asking us to discuss.
Yeah.
I watched the whole series.
I did not.
First, I'll just give my take, and then you can tell us your impression. First, I thought it was just going to be smut, and it is obviously kind of smutty, but it's actually like less explicit than even like Game of Thrones season 1. But I actually thought it ended up being pretty well done and well acted, and had a nice story to it. And I thought it was, all things considered, pretty decent. But you watched just the first episode.
I watched
had company while you were
in the background.
Watching it. Yeah, so you really can't give any opinion.
I wasn't doing anything. We were just talking.
Yeah, so you weren't watching the media.
We weren't watching it. But as I was watching parts of it, it was pissing me off because it reminded me of when I was like in a thing with somebody who's in the closet, and it was just activating like something.
Oh, triggering.
Yeah, it was triggering me. So I was just like, it was pissing me off. I'm like, this isn't a love story, bitch. This guy is, you're both sorry. Anyways,
bleep.
Yeah, we're gonna bleep that.
Ciao. Anyway, so
we have 2 scandals and then an insane tweet to talk about this. But while we're in the mood to talk about something spicy, Clarkson has a message.
I do have a message for you guys, so let's play it. Quick pause because Valentine's Day is coming up and WeVibe has got you guys covered. Now, WeVibe is a global premium brand that creates app-controlled toys that you can use from anywhere. It's great for couples. Now, I'm clearly not in one, but you know what? When I am, maybe I'll use it. Now, this one is the Moxie. This is made for you girls. I don't quite know how it works. I'm not as familiar with the female anatomy, so I'm imagining it feels good. But it's ultra slim, it's completely silent, and it doesn't like move in your pants or whatever because of this magnetic design, and it stays perfectly under clothing. It's designed for playful teasing that your partner can control from anywhere. Now this is the WeVibe Bond. It is an adjustable wearable for men. It's flexible, easy to put on, easy to take off, and you can pretty much wear it anywhere, boys. So you know what, why not? And again, this can be controlled through an app on your phone. Both of these are waterproof. They come with a 2-year warranty, and they ship for free and discreetly. So right now, WeVibe is running a Valentine's Day sale. Until February 16th, you can get up to 60% off site-wide. Now that's crazy, but if you enter my code, which Brad isn't in the code, I don't know why, Clarkson10, you get an extra 10% off in addition to that 60% off that they're already doing. Link is at the top of the description and pinned in the comments, so big thanks to WeVibe for sponsoring this Normal Gays video. Now let's get into it.
All right, so we're gonna talk first about this really absurd drama, Heated Rivalry drama that happened from this straight male hockey podcast. They're called the Empty Netters. I never heard of them before this.
Okay.
But they got a ton of traction and went super viral for
just because they're hockey players.
No, they're not. They're hockey podcasters.
Oh, okay.
So they do a hockey podcast, and they're all straight men, and they started reacting to Heated Rivalry and loving it in like this performative way.
Yeah.
And all the gays and theys and ladies were like, oh my God, we love a king.
We love a secure man.
And turns out they were talking it, some of them in texts previously. And so it may have all been performative. However, he has an explanation for himself. So we're going to hear him out. We're going to go through the whole controversy.
Okay.
Here's a video explaining it, and then we'll play his response. And then we will judge whether he's actually a fraud or not.
A new Heated Rivalry related scandal has just dropped, and this time it has to do with the Empty Netters podcast. In a new article published by Outsports, they said that the host actually privately trashed the show, despite them gaining so much popularity from reacting positively to it and even having Robbie GK on. Allegedly, in a series of text messages sent to multiple recipients and seen by the news outlet, Dan Powers, who is one of the hosts, was very privately anti the show while publicly praising it and making a lot of money from it. In the early days of the public reaction, Powers was so annoyed by the positive reaction, saying that the gushing response was only making the blue-haired Twitter people happy. He also said privately in these text messages, "I think the losers who made this show are cowards. The producers are Canadian, for crying out loud. This is the trash they make because it panders, it's provocative, and it checks inclusivity boxes." He said privately that he refused to give the show the time of day out of principle, except then when they went on and had people say that they should talk about it, they reacted extremely publicly to the point where they had 300,000 people tune into their finale live/video. They even said that Connor and Hudson are coming onto their show, so they are profiting in so many different ways off of this story, and this is a big bombshell considering they were one of the biggest public advocates for the show, and they had a big hockey audience, so I think they got a lot of hockey fans into the show. But of course, they also made a ton of money off of these episodes. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is true? I'm just shocked that this dropped today.
Tell me what you think.
I think that he probably did have opinions on it at first, and then he watched it and he thought it was a good show.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
So let's watch his response then, and then we'll...
Because I feel like when I first heard about the show, I'm not going to lie, like over the last 6 years of woke, I feel like I have PTSD. So anytime I see even gay characters, I'm like, ugh.
It's going to come out as non-binary.
Well, yeah, because sometimes they're so forced into a storyline that it kind of just rips everything, the creativity that comes naturally to people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really represent us well. So when I first heard of Heated Rivalry, I kind of had the same thought process.
I worried it would be woke, and it really isn't.
Yeah. I mean, that I think that was most people's probably concern. And then when it wasn't, that's probably what it...
the host, he is trashing it pretty heavily for having not seen it, saying, "Oh, it's just going to make the blue-haired Twitter people." But Loki, I could see myself saying
I was just going to say, I thought that. Immediately, I thought that. Whenever I see two gay guys kiss in public, I'm like, they're doing it for attention.
That might be your trip.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Oh my God.
But no, I don't know. Maybe I just am being contrarian.
But he claims that was his initial opinion, and then that when they watched it, they liked it. Let's watch this.
Okay.
A second to acknowledge the Outsport piece that came out today. I know that a ton of people are shocked by this, confused by this, and frustrated by this, and I take that very, very seriously. And I want to say that this has caught me completely off guard and frankly is super disappointing. And I just wanted to take a beat to sort of understand everything before addressing you all. First of all, the timeline implied in this article is completely false and inaccurate. And it suggests that we were watching this show, sending messages like this, while at the same time reviewing it and speaking poorly about it, which is completely inaccurate. These messages were sent over a week before we had ever watched the show and before we had ever posted a review. And I also know the person that these messages are sent to. It is a person who is a podcaster who is also talking about and reviewing Heated Rivalry. It is a person that I considered a good friend, that I have had a lovely relationship with. So it's been very confusing and frankly crushing that this person would try to execute an attack like this on us when all we have done is love and appreciate the same show that he was loving and appreciating. I don't understand it. It feels very crazy to be bitter and angry at us for enjoying this show and having fun with it, but that is the root of all this.
Yeah, so the gist here is basically he's saying those texts were from before we watched it because he wasn't actually being fake. That was a lot of people seem to misunderstand. I actually think the article, if you read it closely, did actually make the distinction.
Yeah, because I came to that conclusion without seeing his clip.
Right, but a lot of people saw it and assumed he was bad-mouthing the show privately while profiting from praising it publicly.
Because people lack comprehension skills.
Oh, they're not
reading
in the room
skills
with
are
us.
at
critical.
The average person reads and comprehends at a 6th grade level, and the average person is still smarter than half of America. Okay,
we're so. Anyway,
every time I feel like I say that every week,
and you know what? It's a kind of a bar every time.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think it's not a great look. It's definitely a little embarrassing.
No,
to
I
have
mean,
trashed this and then gone on to like be its biggest fans and definitely cash in on the like we're the cool straight guys who are we're woke.
They
Like,
definitely played into it a bit because I would assume they
but
didn't actually
so
say they had apprehensions about the show.
no, they were not transparent about
They
it.
weren't transparent about that, which means they were playing something up.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
But
necessarily
so
mean they're
does
just liars.
everyone on the internet.
Not
That all
me.
podcasters and creators
Not
lean
me.
into things. You don't ever play anything up
No.
for attention. I guess I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that big a deal. And I do actually find it interesting that it was like a friend or another podcaster who probably didn't get the same views and was just bitter that leaked these texts to the journalists.
Yeah.
You know
Was
what I'm
the
saying?
other
Like,
friend gay or not?
I don't know, but I would guess maybe it could be the case that he's like mad the straight guys got all the views for their reaction.
Yeah, he's
So he
probably like,
decides to
it's
take
like
them
when they
down.
say, like when white people do something, like take something from black people and then they say that we're like colonizing it. They probably are making that type of argument with the straight guys, but I don't care. I feel like straight guys, like,
Just me, you want straight people supporting gay people?
right
Are you
now,
fucking
beggars
idiots?
cannot be choosers, okay? Like, if we lose the straights, especially the straight women, like, Heated Rivalry came at a perfect time in America because we need these straight women on our side.
Yeah.
That's why they want to get rid of their right to vote, because then when they can't vote,
We're
we are.
So I want to play a couple other like woke funny things related to the show, not related to this controversy, but here's one TikTok I found bizarre.
If you like this show and support its themes and messages, then you cannot watch this show and support this show. Okay? Do we see the connection? If you liked this show,
No, I
then
don't.
you cannot watch this show or support anything from that franchise, okay?
No, I don't see the connection because trans people are not the same thing as gay people.
And the show has nothing to do with trans people and
Oh my
JK. It's all so stupid.
J.K. Rowling is a big supporter of the gays.
Yes, and she has, listen, you could say, oh, you're supporting her transphobia, whatever. She has infinity money, brother. She's not going to be able to give more money because you watched the Harry Potter show she's tangentially involved in.
God.
The
Imagine, like,
logic is non-existent.
I just would be exhausted going through life. Like, everything I buy, everything I consume, like, it's all like, oh, does this pass this purity test? Like, aren't you guys tired?
Imagine how tired we are of it.
We're tired watching you.
I don't have time to do all that. Like, I can barely remember to cut my nails, clearly.
Now I'm going to read you a tweet that's going to make you crash out.
Okay.
Prepare to crash out. If Heated Rivalry...
Oh! I quoted this. I already quoted him. My reply went viral.
Let me... Oh, yeah, you and your little flex. I went viral.
I did.
This is the tweet. If Heated Rivalry really wants to break barriers, I have to...
Sorry.
Cast rugby or football players with real bodies, bellies included.
No thanks.
The gay community isn't just abs and twinks. Show us bears, different bodies, different stories. Big networks and movies need to reflect the full gay community. Enough with the same two jocks. Hashtag Heated Rivalry. Before you go off, my take on this was like, brother, you wanted them to cast fat guys as the professional athletes.
As the professional hockey players.
This is like the one example where them having like very fit bodies is not like unrealistic. The one thing I do think is a little unrealistic, and maybe you won't because you might think that the fact that the guy that works at like the smoothie place is insanely ripped is a little strange. But the rest of them are literally NHL players.
In real life, that guy, if he was a barista,
would be a skinny twink.
he'd have an OnlyFans. And if you look like that and you're gay, you don't need to work as a barista. But anyways, this tweet only had like 2,000 views before I quoted it. And all I said, do you know that meme from SpongeBob? They're like, oh, brother, this guy stinks. That's all I said. And my tweet went viral, and then his tweet went viral, and then everybody started quoting it. Even all the gays on the left, like the left-wing
were
gays.
like, no.
Because they're all hot still.
No one wants to watch fat
I'm sorry.
people having sex. Like,
this is smut. This is softcore porn.
We need ugly people in
and we're
smut.
targeting straight women with this. Straight women don't want to watch men that look like their husbands. They want to watch hot gay men. I don't. But it's really interesting because the people on the left went after, the hot gays on the left, because there's like a subset of like woke gay, and then there's like the hot muscle gay that like panders a little bit to the woke stuff, or just like, I don't know. But everybody went after this guy. Apparently he was on Big Brother or something.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, and like, I guess all of my followers were like, he was unbearable on Big Brother, but
I just think it's hilarious to be like, why wasn't this show about
Why wasn't this show
athletes.
about fat people?
Having more fat people.
Why wasn't this show that is literally entirely based on sex appeal about fat people?
I have to laugh. I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous.
There's objectivity to beauty. And I'm sorry. Listen, everybody has, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have good hearts. But some of them are enlarged because they're fat. And people don't want to, I'm sorry.
I knew you would cook on this one.
I don't want to, when I go on to Pornhub, even though it's banned, when it's banned in my state, I don't go on there. But when I choose a category, do you know what category I'm not choosing? Fat. Do you know what category most of America's not choosing? Fat. So if you're going to make a movie that you want to have mass appeal, you have to appeal to what the masses want. And I'm sorry, Derek, but they don't want bellies and fat bears. That, honestly, that's like, imagine Heated Rivalry with like hairy, fat leather bears. And they're like trying to play hockey while wearing that like cock ring around the two. Like, I'm sorry. It's just so outrageous. This is an outrageous tweet. And he knew it. That's why he put the hashtags in the tweet. Hashtag Heated Rivalry. Hashtag, well, congratulations, bitch.
You got the
viral.
attention you
went viral.
One other dumb woke tweet about Heated Rivalry. Why the hell are lesbians expected to support MLM, men loving men media, when lesbian/sapphic media would...
What does sapphic mean?
It's another word for lesbian. Lesbian media would absolutely never, ever receive the same support. Your Heated Rivalry.
We don't need y'all's support.
I guess the premise of this, I missed the part where lesbians were required or expected to love Heated
lesbians
Rivalry.
to like Heated Rivalry?
And I don't know, you're surprised gay men wouldn't want to watch lesbians?
This is like when lesbians get mad that all of their bars close after 30 days. Like, it's y'all's fault. You don't go to the bar.
So if more of you watched lesbian shows, or if you found, more importantly, if you found a way to make them interesting to straight men, which is what happened here, then you can have more shows.
Well, I think what happened
But don't blame gay men for not wanting to watch two women in softcore pornography.
I think
that's insane.
Heated Rivalry appeals to straight women.
That's what I said.
Oh, so you were saying
the inverse, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be, honestly, straight men would with that. You know, they love lesbian corn. So.
All right, it's not full corn. They don't show that much.
They show full ass and
they are, but they show
yeah, but
less
it's like
than Game of Thrones.
The point of the show is to turn you on.
It's love.
Well, part of love is being turned on, which is why I could never marry a woman.
But you also, to be fair,
did we ever do the ad read?
Yeah, we queued it.
Oh, we did? Oh, okay.
Dumbass. Well, leave that in there so y'all can see what a airhead. He literally forgets what we said 5 minutes ago.
Well, it's just, it's no point in reserving it in my brain. Let things go in and out.
Because there's such limited space up there that you got to keep deleting.
Conserving energy. All right? I'm on a calorie deficit. I have to conserve brain energy.
Because you haven't started your horse serum yet.
No, I started that.
Oh, God.
I'm talking about my, I can't say it.
Oh, because it's illegal.
No, it's not. I'm doing
Oh, yeah? Is it FDA approved in America to be sold to individuals? No.
Your supplements aren't FDA approved.
I don't take supplements.
Okay, well, maybe you should.
Oh!
Make sure until February 16th, WeVibe is offering 60% off, but if you use my code, Clarkson10, you can get an extra 10% off. So.
And you straight women can use it while you watch Heated Rivalry.
Yeah, actually, that's great. I have a straight device for the ad. Like I don't know who to give it to.
Give it to your sister.
Oh.
That's so weird.
No, I'm going to give it to like a homeless lady on the street.
That's what she wants, not food. You're going to give her a free sex toy?
I'm sure she wants it. A lot of them, crack makes bitches money. It does.
This is the most unhinged episode.
So,
all right.
Merry Christmas, Methany.
We will leave it there for this episode of Normal Gays. We'll be back with more probably soon.
Bye.
Bye.